And welcome to another exciting edition of Parrot Show. My name is Peter Ogena and I am your host. Tonight we have with us an august visitor. He is the Right Honourable Tola Banjo, the Deputy Speaker, Ogun State House of Assembly. Right Honourable Tola Banjo, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, you are welcome to Dublin.
Thank you, nice to be here again.
Yeah, I know you know Dublin just as I do.
Well, yeah, I know Dublin like part of my hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know, because Dublin, I believe, is a home away from home to you.
Well, yeah, you can't be, wrong if you say that, because I know Dublin, I live in Dublin, but no matter where you go in the world,
Home is the best.
Yes.
All right, that brings us to really talking about home is the best. People don't know much about you, but we are going to get to that. But first and foremost, we know that you are the Deputy Speaker of Ogun State House of Assembly. And like I said, we know that you do know Dublin very well. You are going to have to tell us how much you know of Dublin. But tell me, who is the man, Right Honourable Tola Banjo?
My humble self, the Deputy Speaker of Ogun State House of Assembly, was born in the first quarter of 1970s, and then I started my primary education in Ibadan. I've said this severally, even on some print media, at the International Nature Research Institute, Onireke in Ibadan, and where I later proceeded to the Methodist Primary School, and also in Ibadan, and later to Methodist High School Expressway Ibadan, and after that I gained admission to study marketing at the then Ogun State Polytechnic, where I got the diploma before I went for my HND. And as we speak, I'm a fellow of Nigeria Import and Export Institute of Import and Export, NIMEX, and then a member of this, a member of that, and above all, a sitting member of the Ogun State House of Assembly, where the mission to rebuild Ogun State is going on.
You are the Deputy Speaker, Ogun State House of Assembly, the sitting Deputy Speaker.
Right.
That's what should be important to us right now. How come your interest in politics? Is it a family thing, or?
Well, like you and I, we are all political animals. It just depends on how we try to play our politics and at what time we decide to let it show. So that is just it. I've been in politics right from my, I would say, primary, secondary school day, because I've loved to get engaged in a game, in like, setting a target, meeting a target, competing with people and seeing that, yes, I come out victorious. All in the name or in the aim of betterment and putting smile in the face of my people. I always love to be involved in a positive and progressive gathering and everything. Like when I was in the secondary school, I did a bit of politics during all these literary and debating and other, games and everything. Immediately I got into the higher institution, I picked it up right from my year 1, year 2, year 3 to the level that I was the student union president of my great institution then. So you can see, being in politics now is not something that I just started, midway. It's been all,
Yeah, you actually hit the point. Student president, student union, or secretary general student union in your days during your days in school?
Yeah, I was the president of the student union.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Because when I said you were a young man, your interest, I was wondering, is this something that just started, or is this something that has been there? If you were the president student union,
Yeah.
it means that, like you said, there's this political animal in you.
Yeah, and I let it out.
You let it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because now you've been able to tell us and the viewers how your political instinct started is in you.
Yes.
And because I was wondering if you just started, like most of us do have this belief and this feeling that we want to go to Nigeria and play politics. But the problem is, I've seen a lot of people went back to Nigeria and came back again, sometimes without being able to actually fit in. And most of the time, you see that the people that you are dealing with, they're older people who, with the mentality in Nigeria or in Africa, it's difficult to give the youth a chance. So when I saw someone like you, young man, being the deputy speaker, I wanted to know a little bit about your political history.
You see, thank you. This is very important. We just need to know this, because a lot of people just wake up midway and say, yeah, the next thing is I want to go to politics. No, you must have a base. You must have a lineage where you belong to. And in politics, like every other thing, there is one thing that is very important: consistency. You have to be consistent. You see, people like some of the people you mentioned today, probably in 1999 they went to Nigeria, they say, oh, I'm AD. Come 2003, they went to Nigeria, they say, oh, I'm PDP. They come border, they're winning one party from this to the other.
Political
prostitute. They don't have ideology. So even the electorate cannot really say this is what the ideology is, this is what they believe in. And same goes for the people who want to push them forward. But if you are consistent, you go to Nigeria, you preach something and you stay by it, for how long it will take you to be, saying that same thing. A day people will listen and we've tried every other thing. Let's listen to this young man. He's the only one that's been saying something different, and we tried all others. They'll give you a chance. But if you come today, you said, okay, yes, this is it. The next day you are part of the other group, and then the next day, then you definitely will run into problem at one point or the other. And another thing is, people coming from abroad just believe Nigerian politics is all about money, that they can buy their way into it. But it's no longer the case.
But do they actually have the money to buy their way?
It depends on the individual. It depends on who you're talking about. Some do, some don't, even in Nigeria. But thank God, the kind of politics we are playing in Nigeria now, I've known since that Nigerians are very intelligent and they are sincere and they are upright. They know what they want. It's only that they've not been given chance to really demonstrate it. In the last election that brought me into power, I thank God it was just to be free and fair, and then we saw the right quality of Nigerians intelligent, at play.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about diasporans, Nigerian diasporans who are political prostitutes. To be honest with you, it's happening here in Ireland, because I remember the last time I went to cover the AC conference, and I saw one guy who I knew to be a PDP member. At a point in time, I drew him aside and said, what are you doing here? He said, Bona, so I was just laughing. I said, you are everywhere. So it is the challenge, it is the difficulty of trying to know. Like I would ask you, I'm coming to that. Okay. What is the difference between AC and PDP? Because I think they are the one and the same people. But before I get there, let's talk about you. Because I believe that election in Nigeria now is about individuals. And I'm going to start from the point that, can you honestly say that your election was free and fair, and that you were elected because of your credentials?
Oh yes, absolutely, 100%. And I'll give you instance. The answer is not far-fetched. I contested for the same post against PDP in 2007, and the election, as you all know, was a daylight robbery, not even rigging. So we went to court. I challenged the results, knowing fully well that my people stood by me. I got their vote, I got their mandate, but we were robbed. And to demonstrate my belief in them and everything, I pursued it. I went to the court. Initially, the judge said we should go and have a rerun. Later on, they said they should bring the case back, that they want to really hear it and everything. They said at some point that I don't have a local standing. That's a professional jargon, they say local standard. I'm not fit to challenge the result of the election. So my case was thrown out of the tribunal. I went to the appeal court to challenge that judgment. And at the appeal court, I won. And the judge said, I have the local standing, having contested and given the mark and everything, that I have the right to challenge the result. And they said they should go and set up another election panel to listen to the case. And so it be it. I challenged that. At the end of the day, my case with that of my governor then, Senator Ibikunle Amosu, who is eventually the governor of Ogun State today, were heard, and the same day we got the judgment, and they said, okay, you didn't win and everything. They threw the case, they gave the judgment against us. We proceeded to the appeal court again. I was still at the appeal court when 2011 came and everything. So that shows how, consistency and how well I believed. And coming to 2011, I said something. I told my people, I will not go back there. I will not go like carpet cross or whatever. I will stay where the progressives are. You understand? And then I was in AMPP. We contested under AMPP, and there was this coming together of AC and AMPP to fight the monster, and we did. And then we found ourselves in ACN, as it was, known. So after that, and I said something, and when people still ask me, are you still going to contest? Are you still going to be this? I said, one thing and only one thing will decide. I know God on my side. I want it, but it depends on who the INEC chairman, and if they follow all they said. And during the voters registration, I saw what happened, and I said, well, with these provisions and everything in place, I think we are in for it. Then I'll turn my cab, and then we'll be ready for it. And I gave it a chance. Thank God the primary wasn't that easy. It was like about 9 or 4 serious contenders, and everything really have the credentials and everybody. Thank God I got the ticket. I went for the general election. I tell you, I have 11 wards in my constituency, 98 polling units. I did not, the record is there, I did not lose in a single ward. Neither do I lose a single polling unit. I won in all 98 polling units. I won landslide. So that tells you what happened in 2007 and what happened in 2011. So I could beat my chest. I won. I have the vote. I have the mandate of my people.
Okay, but from the way you talked about how people voted for you, you seem to be very loved by the people.
By His grace, yes.
What is the reason for that? What difference have you made in your state that you have so much love from the people?
Okay, I'll quickly give you this brief rundown. When I was a student union, I started my politics, and I don't usually limit my scope, my political scope, to my immediate environment. I think about people at large. I think about the larger picture, and that's what happened. I've been in this thing. A lot of people know me before I even finished secondary school. I've been doing it, putting the smile in the face of people in any way I can. And in 2007, when I contested, what really endeared me more to the heart of people is I made some promises, pre-election promises, that I was unable to, because of the rigor and the time and everything, I was unable to fulfill during the election. Even after the election, when the result has been announced, when I've been robbed and everything, I remembered all those promises, and I still went back and said, because I believe it's a way of, it's a two thing, that if you give me this, I will do this, I will do this. And I believe they did their own part of the deal. They fulfilled it. It was the then the INEC, whatever. We all know what happened there. But I still went back. The little I could do there, I did. I said, okay, yes, this and this and that. And some of the promises that I made then, even 2007, that I was unable to fulfill due to the finance and whatever that we're going to. I can tell you, as I sit down here, as I'm talking to you, some of them are nearing completion. I remember there is a place in my constituency. I went there in 2007. There is no maternity, there is no health center and everything. I need huge community and everything and this that. And I said it to myself and some people that if you vote me in, I will influence or I will build one for you. And I tell you, as we speak here now, I think the place is 60%, completed. It's a nice one I'm building. And they came to me, why this one? People that just know, why this one? I said that in 2007. Now 2011, I have the opportunity. God and posterity will not judge me right if I don't do this. And in 2007, I took a lot of people from my constituency, the youth, to Oyo State to study computer training and everything. And I said, if I win the election, I'm going to establish a vocational center here in Ijebu. That will give us the opportunity of turning over people and everything, and will not be traveling from Ijebu to elsewhere or whatever. And I speak to you, the place is ready. It's up and doing now. We have a computer training, we have people getting training in the art of fashion designing, we have people getting training in the art of GSM repair, hairdresser, and computer engineering, apart from the desktop and all other training. We have all of this. So we are trying to impact positively on our youth to ameliorate the problem of unemployment. I even have this with the outside mechanics, the photographers union and everything, that I can't set that one up, but if there's anybody that wants to learn that, we get them, we pay the mechanic and we put them at work so that they could be self-reliant. So these are some of the things that is going on, coming back from 2007 promises, and we are still moving. So these are, you make promise and you stand by it.
Okay. How long have you been in office?
Well, we were sworn in June 6, 2011. So we are just about a year and a few months in office now.
So a year and a few months. If I were to ask you to rate your government in general now, ACN in Ogun State, where would you think that you have actually impacted on the lives of the people most?
Well, when the governor was campaigning, His Excellency Senator Bikunle Amosu, FCA, he did not promise heaven and earth. He did not say, he streamlined. He just said it, the 5 cardinal points. The 5 cardinal points. And I can tell you, as of today, we have touched our 5 cardinal points. We talk about education, we talk about agriculture, we talk about infrastructures, we talk about health, we talk about general, rural development, general development. And if you look at the education, when we came in, it was like a war. The administration before us satanically returned the schools back to the mission, and the implication by extension is that in Ogun State, from primary school, secondary school, that we've been registering 30-something thousand students every year. Then we started struggling to register 300, 400, because the school now became a paying school. And they've done that for 3-4 years. That means about 120,000 kids who are supposed to be in school now are on the streets. Now nobody asks any question, nobody cares what becomes of those ones. When we came in, the first bold step the governor took was that we are getting back our schools. Those that doesn't want to pay salaries of the teachers and give the school back to the we will pay, because the point is this: if the have don't take care of the have-nots, they will enjoy what they have.
Yeah.
It is the untrained child or children of today that will make life miserable for all of us and our own trained children tomorrow. So we have to look at all this. And the governor, we fought it, some people try to blacklist, blackmail, but we know what we are doing. We search our conscience that it is right. What we concluded now is that, okay, we take some and then you hold some. Pending the time we build our own school. And what the governor is doing now in the state, we are building our own new school called model schools. And by September or January, everything will be finished. We have all our schools and the people can come in and school. And what we said then was a free qualitative education. And that is what we're having now. All the students are getting 12, 11, 13, depending on the number of subjects, textbooks, exercise books, and they are getting all their textbooks free in Ogun State now. When they resume now, we are including their meal. At least they will have a full, nourishing, meal every day they come to school.
That happening in Ogun State alone, or is it within the ACN?
It's happening. The class captain, as we used to call him, His Excellency Governor Raji Fashola, he's doing it in Lagos. He's been there before all other years. Yeah. So it's happening in Lagos, and then it's commencing in Ogun State now. Yes. So on education, I can say yes, we are doing. We can score ourselves very high, and it's there for everybody to see. Immediately we came in, even in the first 100-day celebration, the governor had renovated over 100 public schools. Were renovated. Furnitures were supplied to so many schools. And one thing that people keep, taking high off is that they keep talking about schools, and they talk about classroom for children. Nobody, or hardly will you see somebody going back and talk about the staff rooms. And if you don't have a conducive place for the teachers to write their lesson notes, to mark, to sit and everything, what do you expect them to impact in the students? So that is why we took priority of welfare and well-being of the teachers. So, and in the area of infrastructure, it's all over. Come to the state now, you see roads, you see, like in my own constituency, I always, thank His Excellency for looking on our side, and a lot were done in Ijebu and its environs in terms of road repairs and construction. Construction massively is starting now. I'll even tell you a scenario. There is a particular road in Ijebu that is to be turned to 6-lane, which is Olisa Street. Before I came down for this trip now, a lot of people there were like, oh no, what they will demolish in our houses is too much, we don't want this, we don't want that. I had to go on Thursday, just last week, and said to them, look, we should thank God that somebody is looking at our direction now. This is development. It gets worse before it gets better, and then we will love this to happen. I went to the KBC and we called everybody, and it was then I realized their fears. It was that, look, if you demolish these houses to pave way for the expansion of the roads and everything, how are we going to get compensated? It has happened before. We didn't get any compensation. And I said, look, this is not the first time we are doing this. We've done one in Abeokuta. And the governor, in his mind, in his fairness, theory, belief, is not only in Abeokuta, it should be in Ijebu, it should be in Yewa, it should be everywhere. So our own share has come. Let us get this thing. And before any house will be destroyed or will be demolished or pulled down or whatever, you will get your compensation. That was how it was done in Abeokuta. They compensate people adequately before even moving in to bring down the buildings or to just pave way. So when they had that, they said, is that? I said, yes, there is a living testimony. Go to Abeokuta. You have community development association. You can ask yourself how it was done. And we told them that just make sure when they come and get the name, make sure you are there, you put the name of the a bona fide person down, because governor or the government will not come and help you sort. Is the one that's supposed to get it, is the one that got it, is, you understand? So we look at that. So in terms of infrastructure, we're really working. Some part of the Abeokuta we are just running now, we have light constantly, everything going on. And in the area of security, you know, sometimes people expect to get everything, but we don't always give what they want, we give what they need. And that is what brought us to the area of security. We want to keep a conducive and enabling environment where if government will employ one person, it is going to be just that one person. But if the government enable one person to create employment, it will be 10 or more people that will be employed. And that is what we are doing. You know, when it comes to security in Ogun State, we took delivery of an armored personnel carrier, initially about 11. We had another delivery now there to be distributed. We have about 120 ELOS trucks all over the state. No police station in Ogun State that does not get at least one. Even from the source, all their names were inscribed on it, so it cannot be taken elsewhere, all numbered and everything. And the area of health, we have loads of health centers and the general hospitals and everything being, you know, refurbished, and state-of-the-art equipment were put in many of them. And there is ongoing employment and recruitment. They want to employ, because the number one problem facing our health sector generally in Nigeria is a shortage of staff. So we are trying to solve that. No matter what equipment, whatever we put there, we need the human management to do it. So I can rate ACN in Ogun State now well above board.
Well above board. Yeah. Well, we haven't been there, but from what you have said about Ogun State and what the government is doing, it will actually be nice to go there one day and report on what the government is doing. You know, but when you talked about security, you talked about employment, and you talked about what you do to keep the people secure. But I do believe that for you to be able to do that, it has to do with the youths, with their education, with jobs. Without you don't do those two things. Now I understand that there's free education from what you have said in Ogun State.
Yeah.
So what priority have you given to job creation in Ogun State?
Well, as I've said, number one thing that we did when we came in, the governor promised employing 10,000, and that he has done. But even at that, 10,000 out of the unemployed youth is still just...
What's the population of Ogun State?
Ogun State is about 4.8 million people.
And what would be the population of the youths?
The youths, well, give or take, the youth will take about, we account for about 2 or 1.8 or 2.2
million.
Yeah, million.
So what do you think would be the percentage of the people, the youth employed in Ogun State?
No, you don't have to base it based on the 10,000. Some are employed.